Hello, it's 4 December. Actually, we're doing this 3 December, and we're giving you the news that won't break until 5 December. So anyway, welcome to our channel, Health, Wealth, and Health. We want to make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Trump smear by the elites continues as the banks begin to explode. We'll explain all that in the story. You're going to want to listen to this because the information we have will not be given out by anybody else, at least for several weeks. And yes, there is a non-delivery of gold and silver. Silver top $57 an ounce. Gold,
No, it's almost 59.
Gold, they're suppressing like
No.
a sucker.
Silver is at 59.
But there's a failure to deliver. The Indian markets they can't even mint coins because they have no silver. That's still going on there. Failure to deliver. And this is when they take the delivery on the paper gold and silver, and there's a failure to deliver.
And December is the month. So
Yeah.
by the end of the month, we're going to know more information on how things are going to fly or not fly.
Or not fly. Anyway, Jane's got her popcorn and she's ready for the show.
I got my buttered popcorn.
We're ready for the show. This is Takedown. It used to be called D360. I love it. I mean, if I feel something stuck in me, I start going on that and everything just flows naturally. Now be careful. Follow the instructions because you can overdo it on D360. And same with tea. Follow the tea instructions. And there's always a sale on tea. I like it because it's a mild and burdock root and marshmallow and rose hips. All these things, they help clean out your liver and kidney according to
Natural.
NIH. Yeah, it's natural. You don't get bullous pemphigoid from natural products. You get it from liquid Advil. It's in the literature. Anyway, on to the news. Cold weather's coming, so they're jacking the price of natural gas up. So the wholesale cost of power is going from 1 cent a kilowatt hour to 1.5 cents a kilowatt hour.
Yeah, and they're telling us that they're going to have rolling blackouts over winter.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so they're gonna raise the power rates from 20 cents to 30 cents a kilowatt and jack them up and screw you and violate federal law. Go ahead.
So listen to this. I was just calling my friend in Nevada because she's coming up to visit us, and I called her, and a voice came on and said, "There is a system failure. Please try your call again later."
Yeah, the system is breaking down.
A phone call.
It's breaking down. They're hiring a bunch of Indians at Microsoft, and they don't speak English, which means they can't speak ASCII.
I'm talking Verizon.
Yeah, and they're reprogramming the phones. Well, Verizon uses the Microsoft programming, and they're reprogramming everything with people with an H-1B visa and H-1A visa, and they're screwing up because they don't speak English, and in order to understand computers, you have to understand 01011101. Morse code, da-da-da-da, was 4 digits. Da-da-da-da.
Well, I'm not used to not placing a call and then coming on saying, "We are sorry, we can't connect you." What the heck?
The updates are being done by morons. They're hiring for half the wage of Americans, and they're being done by morons, and you're seeing more and more crashes. Bank accounts disappearing. Well, that's on purpose. And phone lines going down. It's all being done on purpose. They hire idiots. You should talk to them. They're nice people. Hello, I come from India. I speak English. Really? Well, you can't speak ASCII because you keep screwing up on the programming. Anyway, so Trump sends ICE into Minneapolis, and the Minneapolis mayor says, "Screw you, we're not going to cooperate with you." He committed treason, and there are no arrests. And Trump confirms that cash was given to the Ukraine, and like we've been saying, he confirmed that Biden gave the Ukraine $10 billion a month.
A month.
A month.
That's like with a B.
Billion. So while they said we found $350 billion he gave, no. 48 months, $480 billion. Plus hundreds of millions of dollars for weapons, hundreds of billions. And it went out there, and like the Democrats said, most of the money we send to the Ukraine comes right back at us. They've already identified the people who've taken money for keeping the Ukrainian war going. There are no arrests. And the Department of Transportation closed 3,000 CDL schools out of 16,000 CDL schools. And 44% of the commercial driver's license schools do not meet the standards, but they didn't close them. And they're giving away illegal federal ID, which is a commercial driver's license under United States Code 18. That's punishable for treason. They go to jail, but there are no arrests. And Jaguar went woke and they went broke and their sales are down 96%. They advertise with a bunch of guys in dresses.
You know
And the new car looks like crap.
Oh, it's horrible. You know the guy that was put in place to do this?
Yeah.
To do the designer guy? He was escorted out by security today.
I think they sold 6,000 cars in the last.
Escorted out.
Well, yeah. Jaguar, you know, overseas they don't put up with the same crap we put up with. Anyway, the reason we're in a conflict with Ukraine and with Russia and with China is because the CIA's BlackRock does not own the Chinese corporations, the Russian corporations, or the Ukrainian corporations. Gazprom is not owned by the CIA in Russia. The Ukrainian oil company is not owned by the CIA. And the Chinese major corporations are not owned by the CIA.
Well, the CIA
so they have to destroy them.
That's right. And the CIA is desperate because their Afghanistan cocaine that's gone.
Drying up.
Yep, no, it's gone. The Taliban do not want it in Afghanistan.
They burned it down.
Yeah.
And then we went in and we redid all the opium, and then as soon as we left, they burned the opium down again.
Mm-hmm.
It's the United States that is sponsoring the opium and cocaine trade. Trump's trying to stop it. So is Hegseth, but he's a mental midget. Anyway, the CIA, we pay $500 a month for our registration for our car that's 6 years old. $380 of it goes to the CIA to murder people. $100 of it goes to illegal aliens, and $20 goes to the registration.
Are you talking about my car?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's per year.
That's per year.
Yeah.
Most of that, $380, goes directly to the CIA to kill people and import drugs. And the CIA smear continues on CNN. They said Hegseth used Signal. He used Signal to message to his troops. Well, last time I checked, Hegseth can say whether something's secret or confidential or not secret. So if he's sending out orders and they're not secret, he can use Signal. But CNN
Trying to make something out of nothing.
CNN tried to make something out of nothing and smear Hegseth.
No.
Now I'll come to the defense of Hegseth on this, even though he's a mental moron and never retired me. But in this case, he's absolutely right in doing what he did. CNN and the CIA need to be arrested for treason for accusing the head of the Department of War of committing treason. That needs to turn around and go right back to them. But there are no arrests. Hegseth is a mental midget and doesn't have the guts to arrest people for committing treason and interfering with the Department of War. And this was reported in the Navy Times, the Air Force Times, and the Army Times, which are woke. They hate the straight white male. Army Times hates them. I know, I read it every week. Army Times. They hate the white male. They're woke. And another federal judge violates the Supreme Court law and federal law and says you can't arrest illegals in Washington, D.C. unless you have probable cause. It's a violation of the Supreme Court rule. It's a violation of the Constitution. And it's a violation of the federal laws. And that judge was not arrested. He got away with treason. And Trump continues. We have a new one, Olivia Nuzzi, who apparently looks like an NSA agent. You know, the kind of people that are brought in at 4 and 5 years old into the NSA underground headquarters north of Idaho. And by the time they reach 20, only a third of them are alive because they've been molested and groomed and killed and destroyed and ground up and sacrificed in front of these people. Okay. Anyway, she suddenly has appeared. She's 32 years old. And somebody wrote a book and put her name on it and said she had sex with RFK Jr. And she's crying in a talk show. Yeah, she's just another plant. She's been groomed by the NSA. They have the best grooming headquarters in the world. They can take a person, brainwash them, turn them into a blithering idiot, and they do what they're told. They implant a little chip in here, and they say what they're supposed to say. You have seen the X-rays on our TV show and on our video channel of people who have brain implants. You've seen the X-rays with the wires and everything else. So it's not conspiracy. Now, Olivia Nuzzi worked for Weiner, who was married to Huma Abedin, who worked for Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
It's a happy little human sacrificing satanic cult.
Anthony Weiner.
Yeah. Anthony, the guy who exposed himself to underage kids and never went to jail, he can rape little children and not go to jail because he's one of their primary actors. So Huma Abedin worked for Hillary Clinton. Nice little satanic group.
Now she's hooked up with Alex.
And Huma Abedin married Alex Soros because George Soros died 15 years ago, but they keep him alive to try and brainwash you.
This is his son.
You know, I believe if I said on television the Rocky Mountains don't exist, I believe if I said that 1,000 times, people in Kansas and Nebraska would tend to believe it. There might be somebody at the front door. Anyway, she was crying on the air and blah, 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 blah. What a bunch of junk. And finally, the banks are imploding. Let me explain. I have a friend whose wife died, and the banks showed $100 billion in his wife's bank account, or in his bank account. They transposed his account with his wife's account. So when someone dies, the banks put $100 billion minus 1 penny in a bank account. Now, if 20,000 people die a day, they're putting 20,000 times 100 billion minus 1 penny. It's 999,999,999,999.99. So 1 penny short of $100 billion goes into a dead person's account.
So
if 20,000 people die a day, they're putting 100 billion times 20,000.
I thought they were
bank accounts
charging him that.
They put it in his account and said, you now owe us $100 billion. They gave him a $100 billion deficit in his bank account. So he called the bank because his daughter tried to use a little card, you know, because Social Security goes in every month. And she was going to buy some food, and they said the bank account's unusable. So he called them up and said, you owe us $99,999,000,000, whatever it was. He had a couple thousand in the account, you know. So they subtracted the couple thousand. But the bank says, yeah, according to this, you owe us $99,999,999,999.99 minus whatever you had in your account. He says, what the friggin'? So he called and called and called, was on the phone, 5 different departments, 6 different departments, had to give him different things. Bottom line is, when someone dies, they put $100 billion in the account, and they do this 20,000 times a day.
I've never heard of this before.
I have. I had a sergeant major who made a general angry, and he had his $1 billion IRS debt the next day.
Wow.
These demons, I'm telling you what, they are powerful. They're stupid, but they're powerful because they all get exposed. And now you're understanding that Merrill Lynch told us 3 years ago, and we showed the story on YouTube, that Merrill Lynch controls $200,000 trillion of debt and assets. Now that's one of a dozen banks controlling $200,000 trillion. Now these banks put 20,000 times 100 billion. So what is that? $200,000 trillion they're putting in people's accounts every day, and they sit there for a week or two. So they have over $1.5 trillion they're putting in bank accounts.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Why are they doing that? What's the purpose?
I don't know. Maybe it's just.
Did he ever get an explanation?
No, he asked him and he asked him and he asked him, and they wouldn't tell him. Why did you put 99,999,000,000? I think the banks are imploding, and I think they're playing these digital games.
Yeah, they must be.
And these digital games mean that there are millions of trillions of dollars floating around, and we can't pay a $36 trillion debt. And they have millions of trillions of dollars. 99,999,999,999.99 is put in a dead person's account. I think they're paying themselves through their Lloyds of London, because on the back of your Social Security is a red number. Remember, I wanted to get it out, and I started talking about how to get it out, and the IRS announced the next day all over the media that you can take it out, but you'll go to jail for the rest of your life for accessing your own money. They hold you down. They suppress you. Just like Trump is paying the FBI to suppress his video channel. The FBI doesn't care. They're all demon-possessed. They're all going to hell. So what do they care? What does it matter if they suppress or kill somebody? Hell is hell. So are you going to H or H? You going to follow Yeshua? You're going to follow the devil. It's your choice. It's not my choice. It's your choice. H or H. And don't expect to do it
H
on
up or H down.
H up or H down. So, and it ain't through good works. So you better start reading and you better start learning, because we're reading about people 50 years old falling over dead with a heart attack. They've tried to kill me with a heart attack, a stroke, 4 stabbings, a gunshot wound, and 3 poisonings. And then I put my foot on the brake of the Acura and it didn't work. Don't think that's not computer controlled. The tow truck driver told me those computer ABS brake fail system, they fail all the time. The CIA's in there playing games.
It's remote.
So that's why they computerize everything, to kill you. That's what the devil says in his newsletters. It's not rocket science. They want you dead. So anyway, the banks
They've
are
collected the money on your
life
life,
insurance.
and so now you're costing them money. So you're out.
You're out. So the bottom line is, save in gold. That's the only thing you can save in
Well,
the
that's
safe.
what Bill Holter's saying, and he
Mhm.
says there's going to be a failure to deliver, and there's going to be a huge derivative crash,
There
and
is
it's coming up real soon.
in December is when all the paper gold turns into
Well, yeah.
real gold. People, if you have paper gold, it's as worthless as this. Just throw it away, because I'll issue you a certificate for 100 million ounces of gold, and it ain't worth a dime because there's no gold backing it up. There is no gold backing up any paper gold. There's no silver backing up any silver certificates. There's no platinum or palladium or nothing backing nothing up anymore. It's pure profits on a computer. And based on your telephone call, you should have a clue that if you say something wrong, like Martin Armstrong, they'll steal everything from you and put you in jail. The only reason I'm not in jail for stopping a nuclear war is I'm a foreign ambassador. And God protected me with that. Otherwise, I'd be in jail for 6 to 10 years for stopping a nuclear war. Think about it. The FBI would arrest me as a federal officer, captain in the Army, for stopping a full-scale nuclear war. That's how evil they are, and Trump is still paying them. What the friggin'? Anyway,
Martin Armstrong says that that he expects. This is what Socrates is saying, that by the end of 2026, all hell's going to break loose.
well, we've already said there's going to be a massive depression, WAR, unless the real Trump comes back.
Yeah, and then Bill Holter was saying, when things crash, he said, that's it. You better watch what make sure you got food. He's never said this before.
Food, water, toilet paper,
Yeah.
ammunition, heat, communication, gold and silver, medicine, and guns.
He's never been that forceful in saying that. He lets other people.
Well, he's careful. He's one of the insiders that
Yes,
spilled the
but he's-
beans, and they put him in jail. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but he's letting it out that, hey, better what he says. Once this happens, and it will happen, there's no chance of you ever getting any more money coming in, because the whole system will crash, and you're going to see gangs doing the streets and everything. It's going to be
The God of this country is the government and television. Trump told God to do this, and now God's doing this back. That's why he went from 6'3" to 5'9" to 5'8" to 5'7". They got a dozen other Trumps in the wings, just like they had Obamas. They had 18 different Bidens, I counted, and I stopped counting after 3 years. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. We want to make you healthy, wealthy, and wise, and prepared for the future. God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.